Mosul has fallen. It went without a shot. 66 vehicles rolled through, taking over street by street a city that took years of American occupation to secure. In a matter of 3 days, like I said, without firing so much as a single shot, the group known as ISIS, the Islamic states of Iraq and Syria, have secured the second largest city in Iraq, causing a lot of people to flee for Baghdad and further east into Kurdish-held area of Kirkuk. But ISIS is not stopping. They are pushing their advance. It appears they are trying to take over Iraq. I think you could be seeing a battle for Baghdad coming soon if they can consolidate their efforts and keep the momentum going. Because war is all about momentum. And you know, some of the greatest military victories in history have been accomplished via momentum, blitzkrieg, shock and awe. So as long as they don't slow down, they keep rolling, they keep the Iraqi forces on their heels, they're going to fold right up. And all of the billions and 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 billions of taxpayer dollars, not to mention the blood, the sweat, and the tears shed by patriotic Americans like myself who stood up to answer the boy who cried wolf, known as the federal government, the Zionist-occupied Western liberal democratic governments, and went to war against these so-called terrorists. Or what were we even fighting in Iraq? We were looking for weapons of mass destruction, and it turned into we're fighting terrorists because terrorists are coming there to fight us. And well, then it just turned into we're fighting the Iraqis because they don't want us here. And until finally, oh well, we just got to leave because now we got egg all over our face and we look like hypocritical assholes. And we've occupied your country for a decade, and we didn't do shit for you. Nothing at all. I mean, I don't even think we improved the. They have nothing tangible to show for it, except for maybe some more weapons, more armored vehicles, and then more militarized citizenry. We trained them. We taught them our tactics. You know, I thought that while I was training these Iraqi police over there, because I trained a lot of them. I even trained the quote special response team or the SWAT team for all of northern Iraq, Nineveh province, that was based in Tal Afar, Iraq. And now those guys are long gone. I don't know what happened to them now. A lot of good the training did. They probably have the black uniforms on by now. Just the way it is. This is a disgrace, for one, but it's all by design. It's all planned to further destabilize the region, and I think to get the Sunni, the Western-backed Sunni Takfiris into Iran and try and displace the Shia stronghold. Because to be honest, I see Shia as the only place that has any spiritualism really remaining in the world today. True spiritualism, not like uber dogmatic control system like the Takfiri Sunnis are. They're no better than conservative dead letter worshipping Christians. I mean, they can't interpret anything other than like real strict. Sunnis have a spiritualism called Sufism, mysticism, where they believe in, you know, the power of the spirit. And a lot of Muslims aren't so much different than your true Christians or your true any faith for that matter. What we need to be seeking in this world is unity and peace, instead of discourse and other things which are, you know, evident in the world today. And we can't end war by fighting more wars, you know, just like you can't satisfy a desire by achieving that desire. It's only going to make the desire stronger because you've given into it. Now it knows that it can get what it wants. So we need to begin speaking unity and peace and dissolving the world. And the whole powers that be, the Western Zionists, they understand the paradigms that people perceive reality in very well in the West and in the Middle East, you know, and they cast it in as them being the woman-hating Stone Age repressive cult of Islam, if you will, versus, you know, us, the great Satan of materialism and decadence. That's pretty much the paradigms that they try to play on, and that's very well. But now if you're a conservative Christian out here in America, you're probably going to be listening to all sorts of people fill you with crap propaganda, and you're probably going to have a pretty healthy dose of skepticism and or hatred for the Islamic religion after 9/11. Almost every American that I talk to when I speak about Islam or Muslims, they're all like, oh, but daggone, and then they don't know really jack doodly squat about it, except for what they've seen on the news. They don't know anything about Prophet Muhammad or any of that. But the same as goes with Jesus Christ. People bash Christianity all the time. They've never read the Bible or heard anything that Jesus actually said. So, with that being said, they do tend to harp on Revelation, you know, in John the Baptist's Apocalypse, and it says the horror will come riding the beast. And if you know anything about ancient mythology, Isis was the pagan goddess. You could call her the whore of the earth, Mother Earth, if you will. So the Reverend Michelle Hopkins out there, the people that like to play on your idiocy, that like to play on the dumbed down masses, or what was his name who I watched for a while? Hell, I ain't even gonna give him no damn advertisement, but they're going to try and say, oh, this is evidence of the horror rising, this is the Antichrist to this ISIS state. Well, yes, it is an effigy of the Antichrist, but the true Antichrist is the Western-backed Zionist government that is funding all these guys, funding all this. And it started back in 2007, 2008, right, well, actually maybe even 2006, before I was even out of Iraq, before the Battle of Baghdad, so-called, that I took part in, was finished. I spent 16 months in Iraq, by the way. You know, I've got a Bronze Star with the V device for being ambushed in Mosul, Iraq, and saving my team leader's life, who lost his leg, and I was shot in my vest. I extricated him back inside a building, and myself as well, saved both of our lives. I got a Bronze Star for that, and then later on I was attacked by a suicide bomber in Mosul, the very city that they've taken over. So I know what I'm talking about. And then I went street to street in Baghdad for 4 months, cleared thousands and thousands of homes under the guise of cordon and search, trying to make safety. But it was all bullcrap. We advertised our movements beforehand, so anything that could have been found was moved. And then finally, we adopted the if you can't beat them, join them strategy with the Takfiri Sufi Islamists, or not Sufis, the Takfiri Sunnis rather, out in western Iraq in Anbar province. We ended up just getting in bed with them and saying, okay, work with us to secure this area and stop attacking us, basically, and we'll look the other way. You can have it. And until we can get out of here, because we've decided this is not an investment that we want to pursue any further. It's just not. So, you know, we came, we saw, we destroyed, we didn't conquer really. We got our asses kind of kicked, but we didn't, and it was this real weird situation. But yeah, we're still gonna just chunk the deuces on you guys anyways, even though we're responsible for this really weird, dicked up situation in your country where there's basically sectarian civil war now, where there was, even if it was so-called a strongman dictator, there was peace and tranquility in Iraq for the most part. They haven't seen that in, you know, almost 12 years now, thanks to the American liberal democracy that we love to just transplant all over the world via military coup and CIA subversion. Yes, your tax dollars. We should be impeaching Barack Obama and everyone that voted to support the so-called Syrian insurgency, the Syrian rebels, because they're the very ones that have taken all those weapons that we've helped them buy by giving them money, and now they're taking over northern Iraq and probably the rest of Iraq. Who knows? And then we could see potentially another war arise between Iraq and Iran in those areas, and that's exactly what the West wants. The West wants to displace the last true spiritual stronghold in the world, which is Iran. This has been a Ronan Savage production. Do with it what you will, but just try to propagate peace, love, and honesty. Don't worry about that other stuff. Speak truth, the spiritual truth. There's a light inside each one of us, and it makes you immortal, and it makes you strong. Wear the armor of God, carry the sword of truth. Thank you for tuning in. Share this video.